Ladies, welcome back to the podcast. Today I'm joined by Kiani Barker, the Business and Marketing Manager for Bella Bronze Tan here on the Gold Coast. Kiani plays a key role in driving the growth and success of one of the industry's leading tanning brands. With her expertise in sales, branding, and marketing, she knows exactly what it takes to build and scale a thriving business in not only brick-and-mortar locations, but also in the world of e-commerce. We'll be exploring why sales are the key to self-development, how to leverage sales in any area of your life, and why expanding in the world of e-commerce is important in 2025. Ads and building the brand around community. Sit back, relax, and I hope you enjoy. Kiani, thank you so much for joining me on today's podcast.
Well, you forced me, so I don't know.
Like it wasn't really a choice.
I really want to be here.
Oh, good. Okay. You are in one of the fastest growing industries, which is the beauty industry in tanning.
Yes.
What have you found since venturing into this area has been the hardest thing for you to navigate?
Staff. 100% staff. I think it's so overrated. Like people go, oh, you know, finances are hard, or this is hard, or that's hard. And I think people underrate how hard it is to successfully manage staff. I think when it comes to individual personalities and the, for lack of a better term, wokeness of the world, it's so hard to make sure that you do everything by the book, but then you also, you know, think about the business, and you have to have this like very sweet spot of being nice enough but not too nice, but also being stern but not being taken to fair work. Like I think it's so difficult in a position where also you aren't the owner, because you have to think about what they want and what your staff want, and then you have to mediate the middle. And I think that's probably the hardest thing, because I'm trying to please two different sets of people plus a million different personalities. So, yeah, staff.
You successfully manage 3 locations in the Gold Coast for Bella Bronze Beauty.
Yeah, 2 in Gold Coast, 1 in Brisbane.
There we go, 2 in Gold Coast, 1 in Brisbane. And you also handle the branding and the marketing for the company itself.
Yes.
You launched into the e-commerce world last year?
Yeah, end of 2023. Yeah, 2023. So about a year and a half.
And that was for Black Friday?
Yeah, just before, not the most recent, but the last Black Friday. We launched just before that, so maybe August.
When you launched into the e-commerce world, what did you find as the hardest pivot from brick and mortar locations into the e-commerce world?
Yeah, so I mean, we've always been online. We've had, you know, we haven't focused on it as much. Like our focus was always salons, building that customer connection. And then we changed our focus to online, because everything is online. And I think there's so much more growth that can happen when you are online. Jazz and I have very different personalities in the term of what we want and what we see, which she would 100% agree that I am statistics and spreadsheets, and she is creative and she loves like personal connection. I could easily sit behind a computer and, you know, make dead phone calls and things. What are they called? Cold calls and things like that. Dead calls. And yeah, I think in the terms of navigating that world, it was figuring out that the same things that work in a person-to-person relationship don't work. You've got to find what the what is it? I don't even know what I'm talking about now. The cut through is, sorry.
That's okay.
The cut through is to get through to people, like to get them to stop scrolling or to get them to take a second look. There's a heap of tanning businesses. There's a heap of beauty business. Getting someone to stop and look at yours, why, figuring out that what you thought would work or would be beneficial to people isn't what they stop and look at. I think was one of the biggest surprises that I had. The things that I thought would go really well didn't, and the things that I thought, okay, I'll just give it a crack, like they're the things that did the best. Navigating that sort of side has definitely given me a bigger perspective, I think, on e-commerce. And that's been hard because that wasn't like my world going in. Like I was always, person to person. I was in the salons, doing all the treatments, all that sort of stuff. And changing it, I thought it would be so easy. And I was interested in it, so I pushed through, but it was hard to figure out what people wanted, I think. Yeah.
From an attention perspective?
From a what, sorry?
Attention perspective. Like being able to grab that person's attention and then keep it and then get them to go through the whole process of, I've found you and now I'm going to buy from you.
Exactly. Like even getting them through the process of going to your website. Getting someone to click on your website's one thing. Getting them to put something in the cart's the other thing. Getting someone to then check out that cart. Like there's all these different metrics that you can see in the back end, which I do find very interesting. But the why is so confusing, I think, to me, because I don't understand where it stops along the line. So a lot of it is just trying and testing over and over again and figuring out why someone does what they do and why it's different to yours. I think you have to have a really open mind to understand how to market effectively. And that's something I'm still learning.
For you started at the very beginning with Bella, which was tanning.
Yes.
And then you worked your way up into managing of all the salons as they opened.
Yeah. So I just kind of baby steps really. Like I just waited for the first manager to quit and then I took that job and then waited for us to open a second salon, and I was all of a sudden managing 3. And when I was young, all I wanted to do was manage one salon, and I just thought like that would be the best thing ever. Started managing 1, got bored quite quickly. Started managing 2, started managing 3. I think I like chaos a little bit. Started doing that, and then I kind of was like, okay, well, I've done that now. What's next? And we were looking at, I think Jazz was looking at marketing for herself, and then she was like, do you want to do it? Like, I don't want to do this. Do you want to do it? And I was like, actually, yeah. So I started marketing, and I've always done sales. And then so I'm doing marketing, sales, wholesale, staff. I'm still managing the salons. I don't think I'm ready to let go of any of it yet, but we'll see. I've grown up within the company, I think. Like I was only 23 when I started, and I'm 33 next week. So
I just realized it's your birthday next week.
Yeah, it's on Monday. Don't forget to text me.
You've always done sales. Do they cross over into every area of our life that we can benefit in understanding how a sale process works?
100%. This is probably a taboo thing to say.
Let's talk about it.
Sales is all about manipulation. Sales is, and not negative manipulation.
I was going to say, let's define manipulation, shall we?
Not in any way negative. Just it is about finding out what someone wants and giving it to them in a way that also gets you what you want. So in no way would I talk someone into something that I didn't believe in. In no way would I talk someone into something that I didn't think they should have or should do. I quite honestly will not sell something to someone if I don't think they'll use it. I don't want the negative backlash that you would get. I think too many people attribute sales to just the dollar value that comes from a sale, but that's not what sales is as a whole. Like sales is building that relationship with someone. So if I don't sell you our entire range on the first visit, let's say I'm tanning and I don't sell you that whole range, but I sell you one product and you absolutely love it. Next time you're going to buy 2 or 3. Next time you're going to start, you're going to develop that whole thing. You're going to buy packages. You're going to buy. If I sell you the whole range and you don't like half of the stuff, you're never going to buy.
You're not coming back.
No.
Yeah.
So I think it's the same way when you think about e-commerce or when you think about even just cold calling. Giving people what they want, listening to people, having that conversation. There's heaps of calls that I've got on, and honestly I forget that I'm trying to sell something halfway through because I've gotten so passionate about whatever they're talking about, and I'm so passionate about the brand and what what I've helped create and what Jazz has done. And Jazz brings out new stuff all the time, and I don't know how she does it. It's very exciting, but I love it, and I think that it shows when you're in that sales kind of mind frame, but you have to be so careful to effectively sell. But I think when you figure out how to talk to someone, and that's where I get into the whole concept of manipulation, how to talk to someone to get them to buy something from you on the first time or on the second time, or how you talk to them to get the best 10 or the best experience or whatever out of them by not overstepping yourself as well. And I think a lot of people should think more about that. Like if you were to sell a house, and the person absolutely fell in love with the house, but it was a house that maybe wasn't the most expensive one, when they need to sell or upgrade or anything like that, they're going to come to you because you didn't just sell them the most expensive thing on the market. And I think it's in all aspects, even the way we treat friends or family. I think that like the way you would treat your husband. He's going to listen to this. And
I was like, maybe Nate don't listen to this.
No, he's all right. He probably knows I do it, to be honest. But if you get them to do something for you because they want to, it's going to be so different from you forcing them to do it because you're selling them this like elaborate situation of, whatever you're promising them in return.
Would manipulation be the right word then, or would it be influence? You're able to have a strong influence over somebody in a positive way, because that's what it is. I'm not doing something that's malicious. I'm doing something that benefits you.
I think the term manipulate isn't a negative word. I think so many people think it's a negative word.
Yeah, the connotation that comes
exactly,
with it. It's like
100%.
dirty.
And I think that it's not. I think that I say it to people all the time, and I'm like, manipulation is about using your influence to get the result that you want. But I don't necessarily think that that's a bad thing if it's also benefiting the other person. I think if you're manipulating someone negatively, sure, but I think you can manipulate someone positively by, for example, when you're selling something to someone, you could talk about how dry their skin is and how terrible the tan will look if they don't use this product. Or you can talk about how beautiful their skin will look and how, I'm still manipulating you either way.
It's making you feel good about it.
Exactly. I'm manipulating in a positive way. I am telling you things that make you feel good about yourself, which is manipulating the situation. Influencing, of course, probably another word that might be better to use.
People might take better to it.
Yeah, I think I've always said it that way because I do think sales require cunning. I think sales require effort, and I think influence is not enough.
Interesting.
I think when you sell something to someone, you have to be in the headspace that they will turn you down. You have to be in the headspace that it might not go well, and then you have to get back up and start again. I think too many people get in the headspace where they've gone no, and they just stop trying. And that's when people stop selling, really.
They're like, we're done.
I remember I was very young, I think, when I managed Wallis Bishop. And I had a gold bracelet that I bought for myself. I told people that my boyfriend at the time bought it because I felt, no, not even as a I wanted people to think my boyfriend bought it for me. I knew that if I was like, oh my gosh, my boyfriend bought this for me, that boys would buy it for the girlfriend.
Interesting.
I was in I loved it. In no way I was manipulating them to buy something terrible. It was, I had it on my wrist. I loved it. I sold 10 of them. They were like $1,000 plus bracelet in Rockhampton, mind you, which I think was very good.
Anybody listening, Rockhampton's like the smallest like little speck of country town.
So
maybe 50,000 people.
Yeah, I not heaps of guys are going out buying, expensive jewelry on the reg for their partner's Christmas present, but sold 9 or 10 of these bracelets in one Christmas period because I was just like, oh, I'm wearing it and I love it so much and my boyfriend bought it for me. If I had said, oh, I bought it for myself, would it have gotten the same emotional response? Probably not.
No. See, I read that as influence. You're able to influence somebody so well that they're like, I want what she has.
I think the reason I call it manipulation is because technically I'm lying.
Okay, in that facet. Okay.
So I don't see it as a negative lie.
Yeah.
I see it as a white lie, or I am very happy with it. Did my boyfriend buy it? No. But the emotional connection.
Did you have a boyfriend?
Yes.
Okay, great. Just add him into.
I actually did. He was just too cheap to actually buy him. No, but I felt that the emotional connection to the boyfriend, and I mean, I didn't feel at the time I necessarily looked terrible. So I thought that the connection to me and the connection to the emotion would get the sale better than, oh, I just really like this one.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it worked.
Of course.
Yeah. So I think that's why I do think of it slightly as manipulation. I do think there's a massive taboo behind it. I don't think that all manipulation is bad. Same way in that you would talk to one staff member in a certain way because they resonate better with compliment sandwiches, or that another one might deal better with blunt honesty, and another one exactly. And you have all of these different people that have different respect values, but you're effectively manipulating the situation. You're not doing what you would do. You're doing what would get the best result from your team. And I would easily say that out of every staff member I have, including Jazz, I treat every single one of them differently.
Yeah, I think you have to, because they're different people.
I used to try and treat everybody the same, and it did not work. It just, people would get cranky. I wouldn't understand why. I'm a very blunt human myself, as you know, and I couldn't understand why people would get frustrated or cry. People would cry at me, and I'm like, I'm not yelling, I'm not being mad. Like, I don't even understand why they're crying at this point. I haven't even gotten to the bad thing yet. Like, it was so, but any form of confrontation or criticism, there's quite a few people that just can't take it at all.
Interesting.
Like, at all.
Yeah, I think there's a few of those people around the world.
Yeah, there's quite a few.
How did your sales transfer from the jewelry industry into being able to work and grow Bella like you have?
I think personal connection, honestly, more than anything. I think anyone who works in fast food, I started at Red Rooster. Anyone who's worked in fast food, retail, as annoying as those jobs are, they give you the best ground for talking to as many people as possible. Getting in trouble a lot from people. Like, you would get the amount of crap that you would get at, Red Rooster, or the amount of people that would come in with complaints at Wallace Bishop because something broke or something didn't work or something was too expensive. You learn how to navigate, how to deal better with those things. I think people are very fortunate these days to not have to start at those jobs where, I don't know, when we were younger, I feel like that was just where you had to start. There wasn't an option to not work I worked from 14. I would have been working from 13 if you were allowed to.
Legally allowed to.
I went in on the 14 and 9 months, and I'm like, here's my resume, give me my job.
You could have come out to my house. We were working from 10?
Yours was scary.
As soon as you're born, here we go.
Here's your knife.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know if it's just that kids are allowed to, maybe they're, is it terrible word, coddled a little bit more.
Well, it's much easier to make money now.
Yeah, right? I think people going on social media and making money and things like that, obviously that was not an option when we were young. And I think you miss out on a lot of life lessons.
Rejection being the biggest.
Rejection's the biggest one, and also being yelled at. And it sounds really bad, but I think people need to be yelled at. You need to learn. Not yelled at in a mean way. No, yelled at in a mean way. It actually sounds really bad, but it
builds mental fortitude in some way.
It builds character. And it does. And I know that sounds so terrible. It's so controversial.
You're not the person who says we should bring back bullying, are you, Kiani?
No, because I got bullied. That was bad. No, I think the biggest thing I've noticed in a span of 9 years so far, and that's just at this job, longer in general, managing staff. The concept of coming into social media and your life is important, your happiness is important, your this is important, 100%. I think balance is important. I think your life is important. I think that all of that is so valid. I think people have misconstrued that to mean that you are more important than someone else.
Yeah.
And I think that's what a lot of people don't understand. Taking time off when someone else has time off doesn't help the people that are left. And I think people are so concerned with making sure that they're okay and that they're important and that they're safe and they're balanced that they forget about the people that don't speak up and that don't take holidays all the time, and that, you know, I feel bad for some of our staff that push through and deal with it. And it's not to negate that the other staff deserve to go on holiday. 100% they do. But I think people are in this mind frame these days that they are important, and they forget that it doesn't mean that you are more important than somebody else.
Is that because the feelings, like that my feelings are important and I need to protect my peace, and
social media
this?
has brought out this whole thing where it's okay to cry, and of course it's okay to cry.
It's not on camera.
But no on camera. No, but of course it is. Of course it's okay to feel your feelings. Of course it's okay to call in sick. Of course it's okay. But it's so weird to me that if you asked me 5 years ago, I would be like crawling into the salon, not, you know, because you were so like, oh, I'll turn up and then they'll send me home because I'm so sick, which Jazz used to do all the time. But now it's like you're so nervous of mental health and being called out for the wrong thing, and that I think people call in sick and you go, okay.
You kind of just have to take it. Is that what's hard with staffing?
It's not hard. Like we have great girls, and I believe that when they call in sick, they're sick. But I don't think they call in sick and they're at the beach. But I think in general, I've talked to a few people that either own businesses or manage staff in general, and the general consensus that I get, and this is from teachers to, you know, food places and all of these different areas, not just the beauty industry. But people are finding it so difficult because if you say no, or you say like you can't do that, or, you know, allude in any way that that's not, you know, fair, or maybe they're not sick or anything like that, it's a world of pain.
Like for the business?
It's just not what it was like 10 years ago.
When people just dealt with it.
They just took some Panadol, like you just mosey on through. And, you know, and things have changed, and people do, you know, there are worse sicknesses and things like that around, and all that sort of stuff. Like I can't say that someone is or isn't sick, or what they do or do not feel. All I know is when I'm sick, I'm still going to work. It makes it harder for the rest of the team, and I think that's the part I struggle with most, is finding the fairest place for everyone, making sure that everyone gets time off, and making sure that, you know, people aren't chucking sickies and things like that, and then other people feel defeated or they're covering while they are sick. You know, it's a fine line, and I think that's the hardest thing as a manager, trying to not step on any toes.
It's like trying to cultivate a community within the staff.
Yeah.
Within the people who come to your company.
Yeah.
Or brand, while simultaneously making sure that everybody feels seen and heard while driving the business to where it needs to be.
Yes. And like if I could just sit down and focus on just building the business, I would just have a great day at work every day.
If everything ran smoothly.
Yeah, and the hardest part is there's no real issue. Like it's not like the girls are annoying or hard work or anything. They're actually all really beautiful girls, and we love them. Like our team is great. It's just that when you have 15 girls with 15 different personalities, with 15 personal lives, and, you know, annoying clients or whatever happens, you know, whatever happens
Life
at
happens.
the time, your customer service, it's just 15 texts or emails or calls, and it becomes a lot. It's not that one thing is an issue. It's the cultivation of
Many issues.
So and then it's navigating that, like, and making sure that I don't explode.
How do you ensure that Bella stands out from the rest of the tanning businesses or companies that are within Australia?
The hardest thing is trying to be different without being too different. you want to, like, we had a photo shoot and we included like a man and, you know, things like that, which isn't really done in the tanning industry. But in the last, I would say more so 6 months, like we did this shoot a little while ago, but we get so many men through the door. And a lot of the reasons we hear is that they didn't feel comfortable at another tanning place or
Interesting.
things like that. Or they didn't think that it would be okay. We're very body positive, which can be great and bad, like all at the same time.
It has its pendulum sides.
It really does. In the term of marketing, body positivity can go one of two ways. You have to be so careful to be enough one way and then not too much that the people that, you know, people have gone too far into body positivity and that's fine and I respect that, but there's still people that are size 6, size 8, so you don't want to go too far one way and then realize you've actually forgotten about
the other side.
Yeah. So we're trying, try to be inclusive of everything, but to stand out, you need to do something different. But then to be on TikTok, you need to follow a trend. So
very counterintuitive.
It really is. So I think, and that's the hardest part, is the marketing that works the best is the stuff that's on trend, is the stuff that is the same as everybody else because people are used to seeing it, so they are interested. All the algorithms and things like that push what's current or what's, you know, being watched. So you try to be different and it doesn't always work so well. But bringing out products like Jazz has done that are the way they are, they're natural. Her daughter can use them and she has the worst eczema I've seen. Having the remover, like that was one of the ones I was most proud of because that took a while for Jazz to like bring out, and we haven't had one person be like, oh, it doesn't work or it's not great. Like it's just, it's such great reviews. I think being that way different in the industry is all about knowledge. And I think that's the hardest thing we now have to get across and figure out how to get that across in the best way is the products being organic and natural, and people are actually looking for that now. They want to, you know, protect their skin or they want to not be out in the sun or all that sort of stuff. So being the same but different, I guess.
Coming from a place that's more natural based, people are being more cautious of what they're putting on their skin.
100%. I think the hardest part is that there's so much on the market and people just have no idea.
Is that from like a lack of education or just so
lack of
deeply
education,
unsure of where to look first?
I think more so people don't realize how bad things are. Like if you ask me to look back at our ingredients list, yeah, okay, I understand it. If you ask me to look at the back of another ingredients list for another tan brand, I'll understand some of it, but if they're not the same ingredients that we have, I have to go in and Google every individual one to understand whether it's positive or negative. And I have a beauty background. So like I am beauty therapist by trade. Having someone go in the middle of Woolies and looking at two different bottles, they're going to go, okay, well, that one's on sale.
Yeah, literally.
And I say this to people all the time when they come in, they're like, oh, you know so much. And I'm like, well, yeah, but why would you?
Yeah, it's like any other industry.
I don't want them to feel bad. Like it took me this long to figure out our stuff. Like I think it's so hard that people have all these options that they think are great. And also like, I mean, this is probably a bit too much tea now, but having brands that and I'm not going to name any names, but we've had models come in and get tans at our salon. And so I'm like.
To like photo shoot for somebody else.
To photo shoot for another brand. Obviously we shut it down, but how many brands are doing that? And then so how can you trust what you're buying because the people that are advertising it may not even be using it.
Interesting.
So I think, you know, that goes a long way to show that as well. And also these photo shoots from these brands are being done on day one. So even if it is their tan, it's when it's perfect. So how does it wear? How does it feel on the skin? Like you can't tell that from a photo. And they're not going to tell you. But over the time, and I think that's what sets us apart, like Bella Bronze, being that we have the salons. So we've been able to talk to people and find out what they use, why they don't like it, what it does to their skin, how they feel, like we've had people come in welts or like rashes and things like that because of chemicals that they've put on their skin to either like tan or get their tan off. And it's terrifying. But they have no idea why. They don't know what causes it. They don't know what it's – they just do what they've always done, which is go to Woolies and buy the tan.
What drew you to the beauty industry in the beginning?
I want to say something really cool like, oh, it's just so pretty. Honestly, I wanted to do it because no one thought I could.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I think because, I mean, growing up in Rocky, the beauty industry wasn't the place, it wasn't for Rocky.
I'm just going to add this in. Rockhampton's the beef capital of Australia. So if you're curious and you're like, what's this place like?
Google it.
That is the beef capital of Australia will tell you.
Yes. So when I grew up, A, very overweight, B, no one really was in the industry the way I wanted to be in the industry.
Okay.
I didn't even know if I could be in the industry in the way that I wanted to be. At that time, I had no idea of even moving. Everyone pretty much told me to go to uni because the beauty industry was, you know, like very, what was it back then? Like, you know, ditzy, like.
Yeah, no, it's not what it, sorry, it's what it was when we were in school is nowhere near what it is like
and
now.
it was completely different when we were at school. And I think
social media did that 100%.
Social media, 100%, yeah. I think for me, it was something I just thought if I could pull it off, everyone would be like, oh my God, she did it. And I think that's what I wanted at the start. I always liked the concept of making myself feel good and other people feel good and things like that. But in the very first start, like when I got my little tan machine off the eBay and I was tanning at home, I did it for me and I did it because I wanted to feel good and I wanted other people to, you know, feel nice. But I think more than anything, I wanted to prove that I could build it into something. And I didn't know what at that time. So many people told me that it wasn't going to be a real job. Even when I first moved to the Gold Coast, people would say, like, when are you going to get a real job? And I just knew that if I stuck with it, that it would be something that I could be really proud of. And I could have done everything that I did without going to uni. I kind of regret going to uni for that little bit. I let it take over at the start.
That little bit.
Just
a quick little stint.
Now we just have a hex debt and nothing to show for it. But I think so many people are told what they can and cannot do. And I think so many people, and I'm stubborn as all hell, and I just wanted to show everyone that I could do exactly what I set out to do. And I did exactly what I set out to do within 3 years. And so now I'm like, I don't know, I'm flying blind a little bit.
You're like, now what?
You know, Jazz has been a massive part in that because she kind of just kept pushing the buck that little bit forward. You know, she's like, I'm going to buy another salon. And I was like, okay, I can probably handle 2. And then she was like, I'm going to buy another one. And I was like, okay, we'll see. And then I was like, okay, yep, that's fine. And it got bigger and bigger. And every time she sort of was like, okay, like she could tell I was getting complacent or bored before I did.
Interesting.
And she would sort of be like, what do you want to do now? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, and she's like, well, come on, like, let's go. Let's keep growing. Let's keep doing stuff. And that's been really cool to have someone kind of your own personal little cheerleader, like helping you along the way.
Someone who saw your magic.
Yeah, and I think I have a lot of love for Jazz. Like, I think I don't think I would be here in this position if I didn't have those little like pushes. And if anything as well, Jazz is a tough love gal, as you know. And I think that as well, not just someone coddling you and telling you're amazing all the time, not that she, you know, doesn't tell me I'm great, but having someone tell you you need to work on your relationship with staff or you need to do this, or teaching me how to write an email because I would write the way I spoke instead of writing more customer service voice orientated.
Professionally.
And I think taking the time to teach me those things instead of just going, oh no, we'll hire someone else. She was like, no, we'll teach you. You can do it. And And so, I mean, now I still get angry, but that's all right. Customer service emails.
The death of any business owner or manager.
Oh, yeah. Customer, you get the most beautiful people thanking you for like helping and things like that. And they honestly, I just sometimes save those emails.
Read when you're having a hard day.
Oh, yeah. And sometimes you just get the weirdest stuff and you're just kind of like, okay, who hurt you? But okay.
When you first stepped into the world of marketing and taking the brand into its first Black Friday, what was the biggest lesson that you learned in there?
Don't sell myself short. At the start, I put so much effort into it. I was so excited about it. And I think deep down I didn't think it was going to go well because I'd only been doing marketing for 2 or 3 months. And I put a lot of effort in that 3 months. Like I watched all these videos on the e-commerce equation, and I was like watching all of the, like everything that they posted. I was like in it. I wanted it to be amazing, but I think I sold myself short a little bit. So when Black Friday hit, I didn't have enough staff on. I didn't have systems in place for, we were still typing in each address manually when we sold something. And the orders flooded through. And my phone, I had it on loud because it makes like a money noise when you get
the coolest
order.
noise
ever. Like, so I put it on and it started. And I remember Jazz was in a tanning lesson because I think even she thought, we'll see how we go. We've never done a big Black Friday before. Like we didn't know what to expect. So even she was kind of like, I'll do this. Like I won't be needed sort of thing. And we were like, yeah. And I think the first day we got like 600 orders or something, and the phone was just dinging and dinging. And I was like, what have I done?
We're out of stock.
At one point, Jazz ran out the back. She's like, I'm missing out. She ran back out the front. And I think because I didn't believe in myself, or because I just not believed in myself, because I sold myself that little bit short. I thought it was going to be good. I didn't think it was going to be great. I had lowered my expectations so that I wouldn't be disappointed. And I think that for me, it was very exciting to beat them, but it didn't give me that goal or that drive because I beat them so quickly. I ended up changing my goal 3 times throughout the Black Friday sale because I kept hitting it. So I was kind of like, oh, okay, well, so this year I made the goal what I thought was a lot more unrealistic. We ended up coming very close within like $2,000, I think. So it was really good. Yeah, it was. But that felt to me more of an accomplishment.
Okay.
Because the goal was harder. I thought that even though we didn't hit it, I was so proud of where we got to. Whereas I think last year I didn't know what to expect, which I guess you kind of always
first time.
Yeah, you kind of always assume that anyway. But I think that's the biggest thing I would say is like if you're going into something new, aim for the stars. Don't sort of like play it safe and try and like how people say that they prepare for the worst instead of hoping for the best. Yeah. Right.
You're speaking to me.
Where?
Yeah. We've had this conversation.
We've had this conversation a lot of times, but and I'm very, very obviously, I didn't do that for myself though that time. And I'm very big on that. I'm very big on manifesting for the future as much as you hate it. But that for me was something that I didn't do, and I didn't do what I would usually do, which is aim for
stars.
Ridiculousness. Yeah.
Do you think that your self-limiting beliefs or self-sabotage, however you want to call it, shows up in your roles, like when you're managing the company?
Yes and no. Certain parts, yes. Usually the parts that are reliant on me and just me.
Interesting.
Because there's no one else to fall back on but me. So I run the marketing pretty much like obviously Jazz has final say and is included, but I bring everything to her, and a lot of that I do on my own. I feel defeated when I get it wrong, but I'm learning. So I get frustrated because I'm not there yet, or I'm not where I want to be. Whereas when it comes to staff or running of the salons, I've done it for so long and I believe that I'm good at it. I don't believe that, I don't believe that I'm wrong. So
It's not a bad trait to have.
Good and bad. I believe that I do the best for the business.
Okay.
So when it comes to me being right or wrong, I think is a bit irrelevant, but I always choose what I believe is best for the business. And I think that staff don't always. And so it's easy for me to explain why, because it's best for the business, and this is why, and this is why. You can see it's A plus B equals C. Marketing is not A plus B equals C. There's no clear plan. There's no clear mathematical equation.
It's like pivoting constantly.
Yes. And I think when it comes to marketing as well, I don't know all the answers. When it comes to knowing what's best for the business, I do. Like, there's good and bad. You can't really, there's not like this random grey scale, I think.
You can't fuck it up.
I think it's either good or bad. You either do the right thing or you do the wrong thing. Not everyone may agree with me on that, but I think when it comes to how you manage staff, I think you can learn from your mistakes and things like that, but I don't believe that I would ever go into the intention like with doing the wrong thing. It would be in that moment I believed it was to be the right thing. Yeah.
And you just pivot from the outcome that comes from it.
Yeah. I think I like to think that everything I do is with purpose when it comes to business.
Moving with intention as to where you're going to drive it.
Yeah, but I never do things based on me.
In the business. Yeah, it's like your role is to get the company the company to where it wants to be
100%.
and needs to be.
But the amount of satisfaction I get from that is incredible. I think the first thing Jazz said to me once was when I took over in manager in the first year, we went up 40%. And that to me was, I was so excited. I was like, okay, like it didn't mean anything really to me. It wasn't my business making more money. Nothing happened. But I felt so valued and so validated in all the effort that I put in. And so when a marketing, a sale pays off, or when Black Friday goes gangbusters, it makes me feel like what I've learned and what I've put into practice has paid off. And I think it goes back to that, little baby in Rocky, and she was young and she was told she couldn't do it. And now I'm like, well, see, you can.
Proved you wrong.
Yeah. And it's a good feeling. It's a good feeling to know that you could do it and that you knew you could do it and you backed yourself.
If you could give advice to your 16-year-old self, what would you say?
Toughen up.
Savage.
No, really. I think I spent way too long caring what other people thought.
Interesting. Okay.
I spent way too long. I went to uni because someone else wanted me to. I didn't want to say no. I wanted to please everybody. I went to beauty school because I thought that I couldn't do it without it. I did all these things that other people told me were a good idea.
Yep.
And I feel like if I was just tough enough to be like, no, I know where I'm going. If someone tried to tell me the same thing now, I'd be like, see ya.
Like, fuck off.
I know, yeah, like I know exactly where I'm going. I know the sky's the limit. I know that I can go further. I think if someone tried to pull the same card as they did, then, and you're young and you are more cautious, more insecure, all that sort of stuff. I think I wish I knew then what I knew now. I think I would have just gotten there a little bit faster. But I don't begrudge how I got there. I think learning along the way definitely made me who I am, so I'm not mad about it.
Kiani, thank you so much for joining me today. It's been an absolute pleasure, as we knew it would be.
Stressing out. Nah, it was good. It was really good.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
No worries, anytime.